That's just wonderful. And I understand there was a fundraising event held recently. Could you speak about that a little bit, Radha?
Yes, I'll be happy to speak about it. This past Sunday, August 23rd, we actually hosted a Walk to the Water event. The Walk to the Water event was primarily targeting, a few things. We wanted to increase the visibility of HIV/AIDS in York Region, in the context of a local, rural, suburban, urban, context that is York Region. We also wanted to create visibility about the work of this agency. We wanted to show the commitment of the organization to the work that we do every day by walking a marathon, 41 kilometers from Aurora all the way to Lake Simcoe. We also wanted to show solidarity with people who live with HIV in our community. It is a pandemic that renders a lot of people, homeless. It silences people. It leads to isolation. And we wanted to walk and honor the daily struggles of people living with HIV in small communities and large communities. And we wanted to say that it's okay to seek support, that we are here to provide choices. We are here to provide support, and to say that the face of HIV is as local as it is global. And the other part of it is that water has been, really symbolic for the original people of Canada. Aboriginal communities have a long-held respect for the healing and spiritual and the sustaining qualities of water. And by walking to the water, it was our way to sort of connecting with the healing properties, and the wisdom of the founders of this nation, and to really say that we're walking and communing with communities and following the original teachings of the elders of this nation.
Wow, that's just wonderful. I wonder if you were to look into a crystal ball for the AIDS Committee, and what would you see in the years ahead? What would you like to see?
That's a really, really great question. I think I'd like to see at different levels for this organization and for the community at large, I'd like to see change. At an agency level, I would like us to really stay committed to the involvement of people living with HIV/AIDS at all levels of our organization. I'd like a meaningful participation of people who live with HIV/AIDS at all levels of our organization, and stay true to the origins of this agency. And I'd like to see us continue to provide very relevant programs and services for those who come to our organization. I'd like us to be leaders in community development and work very closely with a range of partners across the board. I'd like us to work closely with all kinds of groups and create opportunities for growth and learning as an organization. I'd also like to see consistent messaging around HIV prevention for this agency going out there, particularly with our youth and within our school systems. Youth are particularly vulnerable to HIV, and I'd like to see a consistent messaging going out across the board in York Region. From a systemic institutional perspective, there's so many places where our municipalities and our governments and our corporate communities can come together to support an organization like the AIDS Committee of York Region. I'd like to see stigma eliminated in our region. I'd like people to experience equitable service. I'd like people to really challenge themselves. I think there is equity practiced more and more in our region by various social service organizations and for-profit organizations, and I'd like to see them increased and enhanced, so people living with disability feel that they're free to walk in and let it be known that they are HIV positive, and that there are supportive environments that allow them to grow and remove the boundaries and limits that we place on people and enhance choices. And I would like to see, my dream for this organization would be to have, housing and shelter dedicated to people living with HIV in this region, associated and linked to the services we offer. Like, I would love for this organization to have a shelter and housing component where people can come in and feel safe, where we can practice harm reduction in an expanded way, where we can have people living with HIV offer support and services at all levels, and that would be my dream. And that dream would is based on the dreams of those we serve. So it is based on the stories and conversations and desires of those we serve, and that can only come to fruition, I think, if we have support from our governments and our leaders and champions. And I do believe that that is completely possible, and very realistic possibility for the future of this organization.
Well, let's hope that your dream becomes their dream as well, then.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Radha, for sharing your overview and your story with us today.
Thank you, Brent.
Okay.